you still have other preparations to work on. Welcome to the 3 press conference for the Kaizer Chiefs match. Firstly, if you can just take us through your preparations for this match, with 2 days to go towards the match.
Yeah, preparations was we're still going to proceed. Let's say basically we arrived yesterday at 3 o'clock in the morning. We had a wonderful trip, very easy after a wonderful stay also in Polokwane, where we profit from some time that we were together in the camp. It's always good to have a right ambience to be with the lads and also prepare the matches in the best way. After that, the focus is obviously, or has been today, on the recovery. And most of the players, they stayed at home to rest. Because as you might imagine, when you arrive at 3 o'clock, the most important thing is to release the players, to leave them get the energy they need, the support of their families, of the beloved ones. Obviously, there was a group of players that trained today and very well. So myself, early in the morning, I was already here, and tomorrow we'll join for that training session that I told you. That some of you joked a little bit that I was being pretentious, saying that I prepare a match in 20 minutes. But yeah, tomorrow is the 20 minutes training session, because there's no chances to do much more than that. So 20 minutes of tactical work. The rest obviously is some warm up and prepare the boys for the level they need to then have on the session. And today, as you might imagine, a hard day's night, like the music says. Because there's a lot of work to be able tomorrow in 20 minutes to condense all the information, prepare then the videos for the meetings we will have throughout the day and on the day of the match. And even the day of the match is clear. It will be, the match is at 3:30, so not a lot of time. And we will try to cope with all these variants in order to naturally create our strategical approach on the match, so that we can be as strong as possible to put ourselves in the level needed to win the match, of course.
Thank you, Coach. Please remember to introduce yourself. We'll start on the right here.
Coach, this is your first time you're facing Chiefs, if I'm not mistaken. What is your understanding of the fixture? Of who you're facing, the team you're facing, the history of the fixture? It's not a derby, so to say, but there is a strong rivalry.
I totally understand the rivalry. Thank God that I'm used to this kind of matches and excited for another one. So playing derbies or classic matches, classicals like we say in Europe, is obviously wonderful. They bring extra, not tension, but extra excitement, let's say. They bring extra concentration also on the players, extra delivery, let's even say that like that. It's like playing a Champions League match. There's always a natural, but no extra pressure, because basically in the end it's three points. The last 3 points in Sekukuni was as important as the previous one with the Galaxy, as the previous ones with Marumo, or a cup match, Nedbank Cup with whatever. It's next match, and the next match is obviously the most important match of our lives. It's how we've been living. Regarding the organization of the calendar, obviously I could speak a lot. It's not normal. In Europe, it would be forbidden to play a match in less than 72 hours. We're going to play in 68. This is obviously not normal and not really acceptable for my personal part. But we'll cope with it, I'm sure. We'll cope with it, and we'll be prepared for it. That's what we've been doing for a long time, and these players, they also are used to have a lot of demands. So we'll try to, and we will for sure be on the level for such a game where the expectative is more from the outside rather from the inside. Because for these players, they play them so many times, and myself, I played also other kind of matches like this. It's basically the same, because really believe when the match starts, no one inside the 4 lines even notices what is around. I told that already sometimes. Maybe the place where I would like to have more memories is Camp Nou. I played against Barcelona in the times where Messi and Luis Suarez were there, and I don't remember even the stadium because I'm a late coach on the pitch. I don't go on the pitch before the match starts, so I just arrive for the match. I make my job, I get out. So basically, it's a job for us, you know. There's a lot of ambience around for people around, for the fans, for yourselves, press, for the maybe even for the management of the clubs that have to deal with these different kind of challenges, for the security, for for the PSL. But for us, it's a job, you know. We go there, we have to prepare a match like the other ones. It's a strong team on the other side, like the ones we played before. Different characteristics that we need to take care of. We need to analyze our context. What is the context? Which other plays in better condition? How should we approach tactically or strategically the match, respecting what we believe that will be put it by the coach Nabi. That, by the way, I crossed the other day, and it was very nice. So, and then approach the game and play the game as a normal way. Yeah, one thing is clear on this championship. Whatever you might say about the results that we've been getting, it's every match is quite challenging. Every match is quite challenging by the way the teams play. So it's another one. It's another one. It's how we see it. I just hope, and I leave already one word, because there was security issues spoken here. I just hope that the spirit I've been seeing on the stadiums around South Africa until now, that we can see them on the next match, like we saw in the match against Pirates, where both fans of both sides of fans, let's say, were cheering with the spectacle, with the game, because the game is also a spectacle where people go to have emotions, to live a good moment. So let's hope we can live it all together. In terms of what is outside of the four lines, and let the best team win, and let's hope, obviously, that Mamelodi Sundowns is the best team on the pitch.
Coach, on the side.
Coach, since you started to be improving in terms of the margins that you've been scoring, I mean, 4 and all of that, but when you started, it was just the 1-0 here, 1-0 there, you started collecting those points. Does this mean now that the synergy between yourself and the technical team and players is getting to the understanding, and everybody is getting a chance to score, from the defender, the midfielder, the striker? What is it that you've gotten right as a technical team and the players?
Well, I think football has momentums, and different ones that appear along throughout the season. Obviously, that when you are in good momentums, you want to make them as long as possible, and when they are in the opposite, you want to break them as quick as possible. Obviously, that we work from the very beginning in the understanding of several principles we wanted for the team. If you ask me if I'm happy regarding some of the things I see, I'm not happy. But it has nothing to do with the numbers, it has to do with behaviors, because we don't work with numbers, coaches, we work with behaviors. So what we always do is, yesterday on the bus, I saw all the game. So I started working immediately on the next one on the way home. All the way I was watching and preparing the training session. So I worked during 3 hours on the bus until 3 o'clock in the morning. And obviously, when the match finishes, I look at the match and I say that there are things that I need to speak about. And believe me, the last match had a lot of discussion on how to prepare the match with the X Galaxy. And it's normal that. So what is the outcome? We don't relate to it. It's just accept it and go. As I said yesterday after the match, when on the press conferences, was that for us and for myself, it's always important that we score one more than the opponent. 1-0 for me is perfect. 2-0 is perfect. 2-1 is still good. When you suffer more than one goal, I usually don't like it. It means there's something you need to correct. But yesterday was a different story, because the goals came from 2 mistakes, especially the second one. That can only happen when you are extra confident, and that is also respect you should have, and that's also when the coach needs to make corrections. Say, guys, attention, because this is at halftime. I remember the match with TS Galaxy. At halftime, I told them, please respect football, boys. Respect football. 3-1 is not enough, because if you suffer a goal, I want to see yourselves leading with the emotions of a 3-2. And So respect, enter strong, make the fourth. That's what I asked them, and they did it. And yesterday we had a similar approach on the need of concentration. So it's not really important how much you score. It's important that you win, and that you win with certainty about the behaviors you want the team to have in order to proceed in the right way. Obviously, if you win with more goals, it's always good, but it's not how we relate with the games.
Thank you. Any conclusions from the guys that have asked and answered? Thank you. Any questions on the name that come up? Then we go next to
Good evening, good afternoon, coach. You just spoke about your experience out that when you managed in Spain. I think that's what Celta Vigo. For you personally, having worked with this players, I think just under 3 months now, how would you rate these players technically? Where are they? What do you see? Because you've worked, I think, you've got one of the most beautiful footballers in this country in regards to talent. Technically, how would you rate these players?
Oof. Now you're making me a hard question. I will tell you that we have players that could play in Europe, I think. It's the easiest way to answer you. Just need to understand, you spoke about Spain. Spain, the level is very high. Spain, the level is very, 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 very high. So, but I believe we have players that could play in Europe. I believe that we have players that could play in Celta Vigo, as you stated, the team, I believe. But the level here is also very high. And the good that we have is that the ambition here is very high also. And that takes you to the next level and should take us to the next level always. So the demand, the level of demand we put in ourselves is so high that eventually when you cope with that, you get better. And that is beautiful because the players accept that and they cope with that and they live with that and they express it. And that has been basically one of the biggest challenges and excitements about my job. I come to work every day with a big enthusiasm because I know that I come to work with players that I will tell them, let's try to do this, let's cope with this, and they want to try to do it. And they will work hard to do it. And this is what allows you to progress, is what allows you to go further. But at the same time, we always need to balance the moments, not to make the players believe that they are more than the other ones, because we are not. When we distract ourselves, we can be like any other team, because the teams here are very, very, very competitive. It's not the way they play, because if you will ask me if I like how the teams play, I don't like. In general, I don't like. But they compete very well. And this is honesty. This is acceptable. And I respect a lot the teams that compete very well. So when we go to play whatever match it is, respect the opponent, because they will compete hard. And yesterday it was clear that they competed. Even when it was 4-2, they fight until the last minute. And for a coach, you need always to be aware of that and not relax, so that the players don't relax for sure. And so football here is interesting because of that, because teams are very honest in the way they want to show themselves. And playing Sundowns also gives them extra energy, because then we see other matches and the things are not exactly like that. So it's sometimes very difficult to analyze the opponent, because I will not refer, but we analyze a match between two teams, and then we show to the players some images, and I always have to tell them, but look how the other team is playing. It's not how we play. So what do we expect to happen? We need to make this effort sometimes. And of course, then go to try to see the games with the strongest teams. That's also important. But very, very, very interesting to see how the teams are ambitious in the way they approach the games. And that is good, of course. That is very good for the development of football in South Africa and the players.
Thank you.
Thank you.